the Sports Buzz, broadcast live via the Ustream, part of the SoCal Media Network. What is going on? I am Ryan Bonifant, joined by Todd Buono.
Hi, Remy.
In about 15 minutes or so, Angela Moreno, the international New Zealand basketball star, will be joining us. And in about an hour and 15 minutes from now, Lauren Brooke, who is promoting a new reality show she is coming out with, will be joining us as well, and also try to go head-to-head with us here on the NFL picks. But, you know, before we do go into some more college football talk, I did tell you, I am setting some guidelines for the Angela Moreno interview.
Okay.
Now, granted, it was a good interview. It was a very good interview. But there were some things I kind of needed to pick out. One.
Sound bites involved here?
Oh, yes, there is. One. Watch how you say certain things because they may come back to bite you.
Oh, God, Angela.
Yeah. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Oh, God, Angela.
Pretty vividly.
Yes, that one.
Oh, God, Angela.
Yes, that can sound pretty bad. Now, if you were listening to the interview, if you were listening to the interview from the last time, she was talking about some Italian food.
That's right.
You know, she is an Italian family descent that does live in Australia, I believe, but does play her basketball in New Zealand.
Her Olympic basketball.
Yes.
Her professionals played in Australia.
Yeah. But, you know, so Todd has a thing for Italian food. Right. But, you know, if some people
could be misconstrued.
Yes.
I understand.
And especially with those who are as cunning and conniving as me, it will come back to get you.
God, Angela.
If I am going to wear the title of basketball ambassador,
yes,
have to not have misconstruediations.
Oh, God, Angela.
Yeah.
All right, we get the point.
Yes. And so that's rule number one. That's basically the only rule I have, really, to be honest.
I can pretty much abide by that, I think.
Yeah, so.
Oh, God, Angela.
T-stick saying sound.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yes, Hickabilly. Taken out of context, right? Yes, exactly.
I'm always picked on. Poor innocent Todd.
Hey, that's when stuff is that easy like that.
Time out here, because I'm really about to fall out of my damn chair here, because this really is like homecoming week. I don't know if you can see who's in the chat room right now.
The one and only Golden Arches. It's like a whole family reunion tonight.
Good God!
Was he able to listen to the last time we had Angela Moreno on?
I believe he listened to the download.
He listened to the download, so he remembers this.
Oh, God,
already. Everybody, if anybody doesn't remember it, they now do.
Remember what? Oh, this.
Oh, God, Angela.
Oh, jeez. I promise I will not be playing that during the interview.
Hey, with the two people that are coming on today, I can't promise you anything anymore, okay?
Jeez, fair enough. All right, well, let's get back into some college football. And kind of talked about the whole playoff scenario thing. You know, there's some other interesting games that had occurred. I mean, USC blowing Washington out of the water like anyone didn't expect that. Oklahoma State blown by Iowa State. Utah avoiding the scare they had to stay undefeated and still be one of those at-large or non-BCS guaranteed bids that they'll get into a bowl game, winning barely over New Mexico 13-10. Boise State destroying New Mexico State 49-0. Now, I did talk about the AP poll a little bit that was released and how Texas Tech had jumped up to the number 2 spot now. I mean, first off, congrats to them. It kind of surprised me. I didn't think they would be jumping that high, but they did. And for some reason, I'm not getting the BCS standings. I want to know what those are. I figured those have been released by now. But, you know,
Did you break it?
Nah, maybe, possibly. You know, maybe they're not unveiling anything to me because of my playoff thoughts that I have. But, you know, you look at the top 5 now, Todd, and Oklahoma did what they were supposed to do. They get dropped out of the top 5 because they were ranked 4th. USC is now dropped out of the top 5 as well because Texas is now ranked number 5. Florida now jumps up to number 4 after the way they just destroyed Georgia in what was known as the world's largest cocktail party.
Oh, it was a party, all right.
Yeah, it was a party. It was a thorough beatdown. That's what the party was. But, you know, let's take a look at some of the stuff that we've seen now with the polls and how some of the things now are starting to shape up. And first off, like I said, good luck trying to decide who you're going to put into the Big 12 championship in the South Division if you literally, sincerely do have 3 teams with a 1 loss in the conference. But then also, don't look now, but the North is tied as well. Rock Chalk Jayhawk and Missouri only have 2 conference losses.
Oh, and I was pulling so hard for that upset yesterday. Goddamn, Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor. Hey, when was the last time you can count on Baylor? But,
Past never.
Yeah, fair enough. But, you look at that, and there's still a lot of football that needs to be decided just for the Big 12 championship when you look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't have, obviously, Missouri's schedule on hand. I'm sure there's probably some people in the chat room who can help me out with that. But I know Kansas alone has Nebraska, Texas, and Missouri coming up to finish out the season. So right there, that could either thrust Kansas into the Big 12 North championship game, or it could put them right out of their misery. And I'm sure Missouri faces the same thing. I'm sure there's no cupcakes left on their schedule, obviously. And then the South, good God Almighty, really, if you want to have some fun, tune into the South, the Big 12 South, the next couple of weeks to see who the hell makes it to that Big 12 championship game. It's really going to be interesting.
I mean, like I said, just good luck trying to sort that one out. You're literally hoping, if you don't want any controversy or any type of storylines, you're literally hoping that Texas Tech is able to run their gauntlet with Oklahoma State and Oklahoma the following week. I mean, with that tough of a schedule, I mean, just those 2 games alone would make any program right now in the Big 12 that's got to face those back-to-back shiver, beyond belief. Can Texas Tech, can they, in retrospect, maybe maybe let me rephrase this, can they, maybe not the right terminology you use, because of course they can. Of course they can go ahead and get through that. But,
will they?
Yeah, exactly. Will they? Do you think they will be able to get through that gauntlet?
Man, that's going to be tough, Ryan. I mean, they back-to-back. We talked about it for Texas.
Now, Golden Arch is bringing up a good point. The reward of winning the North is you get the opportunity to play Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Texas, or Texas Tech.
Yeah,
have fun.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
You are the weakest link.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, we talked about Texas, Ryan, and we said that maybe it was how they seemed out of sync in the first half, and perhaps that could have lent something to the fact that it's just been such a grueling gauntlet for them. Is that same thing going to happen now? How much energy, how much emotion? We talked about that crowd. That had Texas Tech fired up. How much energy, how much emotion did it take for them to pull off that upset? Can they carry it over against the Cowboys? And then can they carry it over against the Sooners, who apparently have the ship righted and going in the right direction again? It's going to be an unbelievable finish. I think they got to drop one of those games, but I mean, I've seen them. I've seen them look so impressive the last 2 weeks. I honestly, I'm at a loss for words. I can't tell you.
Well, let me look at relay the other schedules for the rest of the programs now.
Mm-hmm.
With Oklahoma State and Oklahoma and Texas. Texas remaining has Baylor at Lawrence and then Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
So they should be able to win those 3 easily and should be able to bounce back off of those. You look at Oklahoma. Oklahoma, of course, we all know they still got Texas Tech on their schedule. But they have on their schedule remaining Texas A&M this coming Saturday, and that's at Texas A&M, Texas Tech, and then Oklahoma State. So they got a gauntlet of their own to run as well. I mean, that is a tough sled to run. And A&M, it's a down year for them, but they're still going to be tough. They're still going to come out and play you strong. And Oklahoma State, I mean, again, they still have Texas Tech. They still have Oklahoma State on their schedule as well. So, all those teams right there, Texas already got those games out of their way. They don't have to worry about it. Whereas those other 3, they still got to play each other. And they